What is up, guys? RSC6414 here, back with another video. This time I'm predicting NFL Week 10. The games for NFL Week 10 I've been predicting for the past 4 or 5 weeks, probably since week 5, so this will be my 5th straight week predicting the games. Hope you've enjoyed them so far. I'm going to keep it going. So let's get to it. Start off with, we'll talk a little bit about some things that have happened. Aaron Rodgers got hurt on the Monday night game. Still don't know if he'll be back. I'm expecting him to be out some more weeks, so I'm expecting Seneca Wallace to get the start once again. Big controversy between Jonathan Martin and Richie Incognito on the Dolphins. My favorite team, the Miami Dolphins. It pains me to say, I'm going to still support the Dolphins. I've been a Dolphins fan since '03. 10 years now, going on strong. Pretty diehard. Try and watch every game I can when I'm home. It pains me to see this kind of thing go on. I don't support what happened. There's been controversy. It wasn't a bit between players and what press has said. You've heard different things from ESPN, from the Miami Sun Sentinel, or whatever they call it, the newspaper down there in Miami, from press, players, locker room, coaches, etc. You've heard different stories, so you really don't know what to believe at this point till we get a final kind of evidence. So if Richie Incognito's bullying him, I'd say just kick him off, to be honest. He's a great player, but if somebody's going to bully somebody, there's no need to keep him in your organization. It makes us look bad, and I personally do not support bullying. I don't like it. So when somebody's doing it, it's not good. So people need to put a stop to it. Especially if it happens all over the place, as you know. This isn't an anti-bullying video. I'm just getting the point across to make it clear. So yeah, it's first 2 minutes. Talk about that. Now let's get to the picks. NFL Week 10. Let's get to it. First game of the week we have is the Washington Redskins at the Minnesota Vikings. 3-5 Redskins at the 1-7 Minnesota Vikings. Not off such a great start for the Vikings. They've played some good games the past 2 weeks. They lost a tough one to Dallas last week, 27-23. Redskins beat the Chargers last week, 30-24 in overtime. This game, the Vikings aren't playing like a 1-7 team. The Redskins are 3-5. For those of you who don't know, if I didn't say that, they're third in the NFC East. The Vikings are last in the NFC North. Thursday Night Football, NFL Network, by the way, 8:25. If you don't know, I'm gonna go ahead and pick Robert Griffin and RG3 and the Redskins to go over and go over to Minnesota and beat the Minnesota Vikings in a closer game than you might think, but I think it should be good. I could see the Vikings winning, but my pick, the Washington Redskins to win in a pretty good game. The next game we have is Sunday, 1 o'clock, Seattle Seahawks, at the Atlanta Falcons. The rematch from the NFC Championship game last year, where the Falcons, or I guess it was not the NFC Championship, it was the NFC playoffs before you get to the championship. So it was the divisional playoffs. Good game there. Falcons beat them. Falcons not doing so great this year. The Falcons are 2-6. Seattle Seahawks have not played very well the past 2 weeks, but they're still doing all right, hanging in there. 8-1. They're still doing great, by the way. But the past 2 weeks, they haven't played like an 8-1 team, in my opinion. They struggled last week against the Tampa Bay Bucks in overtime. They won that. They were down 21-7, and it came back and ended up winning that game 27-24 in overtime. I was shocked. The Bucks aren't terrible, but anybody can lose any game in the NFL. That's the great part about the NFL, is anything can happen any given week. But this game, I'm picking Seattle, even though it's at Atlanta. Atlanta has not played very well. They lost to the Panthers. Panthers looking impressive. Panthers won 34-10 over the Falcons last week. Falcons are not doing so hot. The Falcons are 2-6, third in the NFC South. Should be a good game, but my pick, the Seattle Seahawks to beat the Atlanta Falcons. The next game we have another 1 o'clock game on Sunday, the Cincinnati Bengals at the Baltimore Ravens. A rivalry game, you could say, I guess. AFC North. 6-3 Bengals lost a tough one last week to my Miami Dolphins, 22-20 off a safety on Thursday Night Football. Baltimore lost one to one of my teams, my second favorite team, the Cleveland Browns, 24-18. Big win for the Browns. Excited for that. Ravens are 3-5 for the defending Super Bowl champs. Bengals are 6-3. Cincinnati's playing at Baltimore, but I think Cincinnati's going to bounce back and beat Baltimore. I think it'll be a good game, probably like a last-second field goal type of game. But I think the Bengals are going to bounce back after that tough loss and beat the Baltimore Ravens. So my pick, the Cincinnati Bengals. The next game we have an NFC North matchup, the Detroit Lions at the Chicago Bears. The Bears. Sunday, 1 o'clock game. Should be good. The Bears, Bears have lost color, so who knows if it will be good, to be honest. The Bears did beat the Packers 27-20 on Monday Night Football. Big win for them. They improved to 5-3. Packers are 5-3. Lions are 5-3. So we have a three-way tie for first place in the NFC North. The Detroit Lions, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure they had a bye last week. Can't exactly remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. But the Lions are playing pretty well this year. After the slump last year, they're bounced back this year. The Bears, I'm guessing Josh McCown is playing again for the second straight week since Cutler's out. So I'm guessing it'll be Stafford against Josh McCown, who's bounced from team to team over the years. But he had a good game on Monday night, so you never know. Even though it's at Chicago in the Windy City, I'm picking Detroit Lions to pick up the win here and take over sole position of first place if the Packers lose. So my pick, the Detroit Lions to win over the Chicago Bears. The next game, Sunday, another Sunday 1 o'clock game, Philadelphia Eagles at the Green Bay Packers. Nick Foles, 7 touchdowns last week over a big win over the Raiders. I want to say it was 49-21. Huge win. Tied for the record of the most touchdown passes in a single game. So congrats to Nick Foles. We'll see if he can keep it going. He's been one of those players that's played inconsistently week to week. It's at Green Bay. Nick Foles will be squaring off against Seneca Wallace. It'll be a big game for the Eagles and the Packers both, especially the Eagles. If they want to stay alive. They still got time though. NFC East is struggling this year. Cowboys are 5-4. Eagles are 4-5. So the Eagles are only one game off. But the Packers need this too. Seneca Wallace will be playing again, I'm pretty sure. I don't think Rodgers is back this week after his injury. Philadelphia is playing at Green Bay at Lambeau Field. I could see Green Bay winning because Seneca Wallace is pretty good for a backup. Played for the Browns for years. Did pretty well. But my pick, I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to pick the Eagles, Foles to keep the momentum going. Maybe keep throwing those good touchdown passes that he threw against the Raiders. Who knows? But my pick, Philadelphia Eagles to win in a pretty good game. Next game we have another Sunday 1 o'clock game. St. Louis Rams at the Indianapolis Colts. Indianapolis had a big, kind of surprising. Houston played well last Sunday Night Football. Week 9, Texans, Colts, Sunday night. Colts won. Texans missed a field goal at the last second. The Colts held on to win by 3 over the Houston Texans. Case Keenum had a pretty dang good game. So you know, Indianapolis they played all right last week. They're 6-2 in the AFC South. The St. Louis Rams, Sam Bradford, their starters out for the year, so Kellen Clemens will get the start again. 3-6 Rams. This game should be pretty good. I'm going to pick the Indianapolis Colts at home to pick up the win over the St. Louis Rams. St. Louis played well against the Seahawks on Monday night, only lost 14-9. But I still think at home Indianapolis has the advantage. So my pick, the Indianapolis Colts to beat the St. Louis Rams. The next game we have is another Sunday 1 o'clock game. The Oakland Raiders, Raider Nation, at the New York Giants. Giants hanging in there. Still have some hope, I think. Even though they're 2-6, teams have made it 7-9, so anything can happen. Oakland's playing in New York. Oakland lost a tough one, 49-20 against the Eagles. They're 3-5. They're all right so far this year. Terrell Pryor's had a decent year, but it's at New York. Eli, I think they'll get their third straight win. Bouncing back from their rough 0-6 start. They had a bye last week, the Giants did. So I think this game could be good. I could see Oakland pulling off in a way, it could be an upset in New York, but I'm going with New York Giants to pick up the victory against the Raiders at home. So my pick, the New York Giants to beat the Oakland Raiders. Sorry, Raider Nation. The next game we have is another 1 o'clock game. Buffalo Bills at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Buffalo's they played all right. They lost E.J. Manuel, so they haven't played as well as one would have hoped as a Bills fan. I'm not personally a Bills fan, so good for me since I'm a Dolphins fan. The Bills are 3-6. Pittsburgh Steelers are 2-6, not off to a great start for Pittsburgh. They lost a pretty big game to the Patriots, 55-31 last week. So it should be interesting to see what happens here. Buffalo last week, I think they might have had a bye. I'm not exactly sure. No, they lost 23-13 to the Chiefs. Had to check for a second, couldn't remember. But it should be an okay game. It's at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Buffalo's playing at Pittsburgh. I'm going to give Pittsburgh the home field advantage behind the yellow towels, the towels that the fans wave there, Steeler Nation. So my pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers to pick up the win over the Buffalo Bills. The next game we have, final 1 o'clock game, the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Tennessee Titans, Sunday 1 o'clock. The 0-8 Jacksonville Jaguars at the 4-4 Tennessee Titans. Titans beat the Rams last week 28-21. The Jacksonville Jaguars had a bye last week, and they lost a tough one in England the week before to the Niners in a pretty big blowout. But I could see Jacksonville getting their first win here. It's at Tennessee. Anything can happen. But I don't see it happening. I'm going to pick the Tennessee Titans and go with the safe pick. So at home, Jake Locker, they'll keep it going, move to a two-game win streak. They beat the Rams last week. I think they're going to beat the Jaguars this week. So my pick, the Tennessee Titans. The next game, Sunday, 4:05, Carolina Panthers. Shout out to my boy, Dave the Wave, 1994. I'll put his channel in the link. He's a big Panthers fan. He has sports videos as well as some other things. I'll be on his channel for some videos. He does sports and wrestling videos, so check his channel out. I'll post a link in the description box. That's a quick plug for my boy, Dave the Wave, 1994. So yeah, Panthers at the San Francisco 49ers, 4:05 game. Panthers 5-3, doing pretty well, 4-game win streak. Beat the Falcons last week 34-10. The San Francisco 49ers, I think they had a bye last week if I'm not mistaken. So they've had some time to rest. Panthers are going out to play at San Francisco. But you know what? I'm picking the Carolina Panthers to beat the San Francisco 49ers. It is in San Francisco. The 49ers have had some rest, but the Panthers have played the best football they've played in years, in my opinion. They're clicking as a team. Both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are playing well. So I think they're going to keep the momentum alive and go to a 5-game win streak. So my pick, the Carolina Panthers to beat the San Francisco 49ers. Next game, Sunday, 4:25. By the way, Carolina San Francisco is 4:05. This game, Houston at Arizona, Sunday, 4:25. The Arizona Cardinals 4-4 in the NFC West. Houston Texans 2-6. AFC South lost a tough one to the Colts last week. The last second field goal that they missed, 54 yards, came up just short. 27-24 they lost to the Colts. Case Keenum's had an impressive couple games since Schaub's been out. It's at Arizona. Case Keenum's played well. I think Houston's going to beat Arizona, even though it is at the University of Phoenix Stadium in Arizona. I think the Houston Texans are going to win. Case Keenum's played pretty well. So my pick, the Houston Texans to beat the Arizona Cardinals and keep Case Keenum. I think he'll carry over his great play to another game. So my pick, Houston Texans to beat the Arizona Cardinals. Next game, Sunday, 4:25, rivalry game, Denver at San Diego. Denver's played well. They had a bye last week, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Denver, a lot of people picking them to go to the Super Bowl. They've had an impressive year so far this year, 7-1. The San Diego Chargers, 4-4, lost a tough one in overtime last week to the Redskins, 30-24. Denver's playing in San Diego. Philip Rivers, you never know what you're going to get from him. Denver's played impressive so far. They hadn't had too tough of a schedule, but I still think Denver has got a chance to win the Super Bowl this year. But my pick, the Denver Broncos to beat the San Diego Chargers in a closer game than people may think. I think San Diego will bring all they have in the tank and for this one. But my pick, the Denver Broncos to pick up the win and improve to 8-1. Sunday night football, the Dallas Cowboys at one of my other teams, the New Orleans Saints. Been a fan of them since '04 with Aaron Brooks and Deuce McAllister and Joe Horn. Let's go. Who dat nation, baby. Let's go Saints. That's all I gotta say. It's at New Orleans in the Superdome. The loud fans, the crazy fans, the Saints fans, who dat nation. Dallas Cowboys 5-4. Saints, we've played well so far this year. I'm really glad how we're playing. We played pretty well. We did lose to the Jets last week, 26-20. But heck, I think we're going to bounce back. We're 6-2. The Panthers are one game out on us, so we need to keep winning, please, Saints. Pick up this win. It's Sunday night. The nation's on us. I think the Saints will win at home. They'll beat the Cowboys. I don't see the Cowboys beating us, especially at home. So my pick, the New Orleans Saints, breezy. It's going to throw the touchdowns, and we're going to breeze on by, pun intended, by the Dallas Cowboys. So my pick, the New Orleans Saints. Final game of Week 10, the Miami Dolphins at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Monday Night Football. Tampa Bay, not so great this year. They did lose 27-24 to one of the best teams in the NFL, the Seahawks, in overtime, so they're looking impressive. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 0-8. My Miami Dolphins, my favorite team, obviously, like I said at the beginning of the video, 4-4. I explained the Martin Incognito controversy at the beginning, so if you want my take on it, watch the beginning. First 2 minutes, I gave my take on it. So I probably won't give my take on it again. The controversy has probably put some disruption to our play in the locker room and our team. You know what? I think Dolphins, we're going to go against adversities. We're playing at Tampa, 0-8 team. Tampa has nothing to lose, though, so they'll probably come out and make an impressive showing at home, even though they lost to the Panthers on Thursday Night Football and the national TV. I think they're going to throw everything they've got at us, at the Dolphins. But being that I am a little biased, got to go with my Miami Dolphins to bounce back from adversity. I think even with all the controversy and all the distractions in the locker room and what's been going on, my pick, my Miami Dolphins, my Miami Fins will beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and improve to 5-4. So my pick, the Miami Dolphins. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like my videos, go to my Facebook page, RSC6414 on YouTube.com. Give it a like. I'll post the link below, as well as my boy Dave the Wave 1994's YouTube channel, where he has sports and wrestling stuff. So check his channel out. I'll post a link in the description box for my Facebook fan page and his channel. Hope you enjoyed this video. Check out my other videos and subscribe. Thanks, guys.